This is Coach Rockton, head basketball coach of my Southland Tech Bulls, Division I basketball program, coming to you today to talk about those Bulls and these exciting times that we're having here in the 70s. Now, you know one thing you got to remember. The 70s is such a special time here at Southland Tech, and music is such a driving force of everything that we do here at Southland. Our cheerleaders, that band, that dance team, and boy, our fans, boy, they really get behind it and get our team going when it's time for them to hit that floor. Now we got two freshmen, Mark and Charles. Boy, they are as different as an afro and somebody else sporting a process. These two guys are hilarious and they keep everybody going. Now Mark, he could really play, but he just doesn't know how good he could be. And that doggone Charles, 6'8", skinny as a beanpole. Boy, he gotta bend over twice for you to see his shadow. And Charles thinks he knows every damn thing. Boy, he gets on my nerves. Even though he's just as lost as last year's Easter egg. He can work my last nerve. We're trying to help him grow into young men, because that's what we do here at Southland Tech. So follow us on Freshman.
Let's see what it is.
Okay, let's. Ladies and gentlemen, in this corner, you have Mickey Clayton, the coach. And in the other corner, we have
your reporter's favorite reporter. It's me, the one and only Slick Rick Brown. What's up, folks? What's up, Coach?
Oh man, he's gone to his real name, Slick Rick.
Let's go. Coach, I don't say this too often. I've missed you, man. It seems like it's been, I don't know, a week.
A whole week.
I know, man. I'm needy today, man. I'm just feeling, I got so many feelings going on today, man. It's crazy. It's a crazy day. But it's all good. It's all good. How are you doing?
As my grandson says, I agree.
I agree. All right now. All right.
Hey, before we get started, got to tell you a little bit about some of the comments that we've been getting. I got a couple on that we got on YouTube. Somebody read, and Anthony Edmonds, I think he was first time viewer. He said, this is an incredible show as a former coach. This is very informative. I like the energy. Would love to help out in any way possible. And it would be nice if you guys take it on the road.
Whoa.
I love it, guys. Please keep up the good work.
All right, thanks, Anthony. Right. What's up?
And we got another one from Ellis Woods.
Oh.
Good show. Keep doing the damn thing. Well, what's a show without talking about everyone's favorite team? How about them Cowboys?
Ellis, I was with you there up until that point, but I'm not going there. Ellis, you're not going to bring me down. Why he got to bring that team into this? Coach, come on. Save me, Coach. Save me, please.
I'm going to save you, but Ellis, please know we're going to do something about the NFL draft. And in fact, listeners, let us know what rivalry you think is the biggest NFL rivalry. Just put a little note down there so we can make sure we can discuss it on next week's show. If you got something on there good enough, we might even have you on the show with us. One more comment I gotta read, Rick. Okay. We run a couple promotional things on there about Jank barbecue sauce. Getting a lot of comments about that too. They say, Coach, if you like it, it must really be good. It is. And about my book, Freshman. We had a young lady comment, and hers was about the book. She said, thank you. I liked it. Freshman is sending that to all my fresh ladies. Capitalize. You guys are thumping a rhythm on the show that no other network is willing to touch. Keep the rhythm thumping, and we will keep jamming to it.
All right, all right, all right. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is great. Thank you for your comments. Please, if you like us, if you don't like us, if you like me and you don't like Coach, I know it's not vice versa, but hit us. You know where to hit us. I mean, let us know. Let us know what you think.
And it's all right to give us topics. Ellis, I appreciate that about them Cowboys, because I got some conversation about that, seeing that I was at AT&T Stadium this past season. We got some conversation, and we're going to get to it, especially with that Washington football team, excuse me.
Yeah, and I will have to go on the record that I had to give up my fandom of this Washington football team 4 years ago when the owner, Daniel Snyder, said something about kneeling and firing players, and that was my last straw. Not the name, not that, but if you're going to tell your players how to make a stand, something that is their right, then I have a problem with that. And someone once said, someone much smarter than me said, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. No, I do not like that team anymore. Or at least until the owner leaves. So enough about that. But I do still hate the Cowboys. Believe that. That will never leave.
He said that'll never leave. Oh, and we did a little quick piece on Paul Pierce last week, and then after we did it, they had something on Instagram. Don't know if it's true or not. And it said an adult site is offering Paul Pierce $250,000 to host an NBA show with exotic dancers.
Did I say last week that Paul Pierce was my hero? Did I say this?
Yes, you did.
I'm telling you. Oh my goodness, Paul, if you need a stand-in, if you need any support, I got you. I'm there. Hit me up here, MicknRick. I got you.
Hey, you'll co-host that in a minute, huh?
In a Miami minute.
In a Miami minute. I sent that Instagram to one of my buddies, Joe Bullock. The comment was, stop it, don't say it, stop it. That was enough. That was enough. We said that we were going to talk a little bit about the transfer portal and all of that, but we got some breaking news today. Tennessee State just hired a new head football coach, and they didn't tell the old coach that he had been fired.
Whoa. Hold up now.
Ron Reed still has another game to coach. He didn't know till people found out that they were getting ready to hire Eddie George.
No, look.
HBCU football.
At its best. Catch it now. That is so asinine.
HBCU football. Doing it like nobody else does it.
Coach, how can you do that? That is, look, all right, now let's not be crazy, because we know even the big schools, they go and start searching for it. Heck, the NFL do it all the time. Start searching for their coaches midway through the season and not letting anyone know. And then as soon as their coach is fired, then they let them know. But they do a better job at hiding it. Come on, TSU.
Yeah, but see, Texas kind of did that last year. They were looking for replacements for their coach, and if certain coaches had responded, then they were going to fire him. If the certain coach was not interested, then they keep him until they found somebody. So they do it at the big level. Now, what one athletic director told me, he said, any athletic director worth his salt has a short list of every coaching position on his staff in his back pocket. And he told me, he said, Mickey, I need you to get a short list in case I need a new basketball coach. I need a short list, real short, 3 names. He said, because we're not waiting 3 or 4 months. If we move on a coach, we're going to know who we bringing in, or at least who we're going to choose from, the parameters they're looking for, and if we can meet those parameters, because we're not going to be forever naming a coach. Now, he did not say to find this, and we were hiring the guy right then, but he said, with your experience, I need you to find me one for men and women, just in case.
Wow. Wow.
And he said, every coach, he said, every day AD worth his salt has a short list. He said, don't believe that when they fire them, they have no idea. And as a former basketball coach, a lot of times when a position would come open, we would try to reach out and find out, do they know who they want already before you even apply?
Right.
And sometimes people tell you, say, no, they're going to give it to so-and-so, or it's not, or they'll say, is this really an open position? You know, so you try to find us. That's one of the first things you kind of find out before then, you know, before you even apply.
How hard is that, though? Once you do that, how hard is that to get a coach in the future? Why would someone go to that school as a coach when knowing that tomorrow could be your last day and everybody else would know about it but you?
Well, a lot of times it hurts you when you do things like you remove coaches that's still under contract, and people tend to feel like if they moved you, they'll move me too. So we've had some coaches in the past that have sued institutions for being fired and have won those suits. And it makes it a little bit more difficult because people will say, as they go down the road, say, well, they should have went on and fired them. They wasn't winning. I said, but yeah, you might win this battle because you got a temporary stay, but you lose the war. And part of it is the negative perception that we get and what goes on with good coaches who say, why do I want to take a chance? Because most of the times it's not a good job because they've been losing. So you have to go in and rebuild a program. Look at Deion. You know, Deion's over at Jackson, and once they saw some tape on Deion, it became a little bit more difficult. That's not to say he's not going to turn it around, but Deion's success in terms of money and things that he's brought to Jackson State has, I'm sure, encouraged Tennessee State to hire Eddie George, who has 0 coaching experience.
How much?
0. Like the number of hairs on my head. 0.
You know, I do have a problem with that. I mean, I understand you cannot take away a person's stardom, and we talked about perception. A lot of times, perception is reality. But there's a lot of darn good assistants, darn good coaches out there who have been in the wars, who have been in a battle, who just needs a chance to show what they can do. And there was a time that black colleges, HBCUs, would allow that to be their stepping stone, per se. But now, if we're just going to go for the money or go for the stardom, hey, let's get Dikembe Mutombo, Allen Iverson to be our coach. That's going to work. That's just dressing, and it's only going to get you so far. Because in the end, it comes down, no matter how much money you're making in the beginning, these sponsors aren't going to want to put themselves out for a losing program. They don't want to be associated with a losing program. So you better. And Eddie George is smart though, so I'm not just jumping on him because he is a smart guy, and I'm sure he'll have a whole heck of a great staff to help him.
Yeah, thinking about bringing.
But I don't want to see this
as
as a
his
trend.
offensive coordinator, formerly of the Browns.
See, he's a smart guy, but I don't want to see this as a trend, Coach. I really don't. I don't want to see it at all.
Well, he's also bringing Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie with him. He's trying to hire Hugh, but this is nothing against Eddie George. It's nothing against him. He's at TSU. We want him to be successful, except when they play us. We don't want him to get nothing from us.
Not a thing.
We want to wear him out. And we've had it happen before. Larry Little got hired down at Bethune-Cookman. And you had Steve Wilson at Howard. He was there for 13 years. Deion Sanders. I have my own personal feeling on it, which, you know me, don't take much for me to speak on it. You know, and my thing is, you know, you played at a PWI, work at a PWI. That's just me. Now, once you get the position, okay, we want you to be successful and we want you to do well because you represent all of us. But for all those people who played at a predominantly Black institution, have coached at a predominantly Black institution, and then to be told you're not good enough to be the head coach at a predominantly Black institution.
Bam.
What's the message you just sent? You don't respect our own over the PWI. They got upset with me one time because I had somebody who wanted to work for me, and one of the times I was coaching, they had went to the PWI, and I told them I respect them. I hope they do well. But since you've had no coaching experience, contact the school that you worked and that you played for. Because my loyalty was to the kids who played at our institution or at a sister or brother institution. For one, they see it's a little bit deeper than that. When you're at a HBCU, you're used to not having a lot. You're used to making a little bit out of a lot because you don't have a lot. When you're at a PWI, you know, you got 5 or 6 pair of tennis shoes. You know, you got all these different amenities. You got all these things, even as a player. But then when you get to be a head coach, you think that all the amenities that you saw that a head coach get at Arkansas are not going to be the amenities you get at Arkansas Pine Bluff. When you at a HBCU, you're going to wash uniforms, you're going to clean the floor, you're going to travel and look to get money back from recruiting. You're not going to have credit cards to go everywhere you want to go, hire the staff you want to go. You're going to have to be able to build a successful program with a minimum amount of resources. And when you've been at HBCU, you know all of those things. And so you don't look for them. And you now are in a position where you have established your own grapevine of contacts that know what you're looking for and what you need.
Again, I understand where it's coming from. And Deion Sanders may have opened the floodgates. Someone I read over the weekend that was saying Ed Reed should go for it next. Although I think Ed has coached somewhere before. I didn't get a chance to really dive into that. But is Eddie, well, in Tennessee, Eddie George is money. I mean, he did great with the Titans there, and I will not knock that. I just don't like the way this is going. But you said something, Coach. You said something about, not having a lot.
When I was a kid playing the game of football, I used to look at my situation, and I always thought, how did we get here? Why are we living in the projects? Why are things always so negative towards young black males, young black boys, trying to just dream about a better life. What I always did, I took my situation and I made it my motivation. I took my downs and made it become my ups. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna sit here in your everyday life and play a self-pity party with yourself?
The commercial deal for Saturn.
Boy, you a special individual here. You just walked into that really good. Or did I set myself up for that? I don't know which one.
Woo!
But you know, the deal with Saturn came out of a negative situation. We had played in Daytona Beach that Saturday, had beat Bethune-Cookman, came back Saturday night or 4-day Sunday. We had a flight out Sunday morning to the conference tournament. We did not have a bus come pick the team up to take us to the airport. So I had to tell the guys to drive to the airport that we would pay for their car parking. And I had a Saturn that I had talked to the local dealer about 6 months early in terms of allowing me to use one as a courtesy car. And I was glad to have it. Now, I was a big guy in a little car. And it was raining, it was storming, and over by Seminole Reservation, some students had been inebriated, ran through a stop sign, hit us, knocked us in the ditch. And in fact, I had to give my trainer the tickets for the guys on the team to catch the flight so that the team minus the coach could make it to the tournament, of which I came later. Now, we subsequently won the tournament, and every reporter, your reporter, or a reporter's reporter, are looking for a new angle to do their story, and they ask a question. They say, Coach, what happened this week to make you think this was going to be a special week for us to win the tournament and by winning 4 games in 5 days? And I said, I had no idea that this would be a great week because it started with me in a ditch in a rainstorm. So they asked what happened, and when I told them, it blew up from there. Saturn saw the story. My mother saw the story and was extremely upset because she did not know her first child was in a ditch.
That's right. That's right.
We got a lot of notoriety for the school and the program from that. What a good memory that reporter had right there.
But hey, it all worked out for the best. And as you said, we hope these coaches do have success where they are, except for one game. If they play my alma mater, Florida A&M University, they can take the L's there. Other than that, we wish you success. But I do caution other schools. In the end, is about wins and losses, and make sure these coaches are surrounded by people who can help your program grow. And I mean, the exposure is nice because it's going to help all HBCUs. As we see that Jackson State on the mothership, they call it ESPN. But if they become a sideshow, then you might as well just show the bands.
Well, so. I agree. And you made a comment about being as stepping stones. Congratulations to Athletic Director Lynn Thompson at Bethune-Cookman. Congratulations and our condolences, that both his men and women's basketball coach have stepped to larger, more lucrative coaching situations. And both of them had did very well at Bethune. And one thing that is just so ironic, but I'm so baffled because I've talked to Lynn, is his ability to pick coaches that end up being successful and matriculate to larger institutions. He wishes them well, but they never have the same success that they have at Bethune, but they have the opportunity. And he does a great job of hiring coaches at Bethune-Cookman College. And in fact, on Spreaker, INSiiGHTS has a show there where we talked to Herb Reinhardt at Valdosta State and Bill Hayes, and we talked about some of the things that they look for in hiring coaches. So a lot of times we bring information to you, try to give you the inside track, but you got to listen to it, do your homework, find out, because we will tell you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hey, Coach, before we get out of here, though, please allow me a few minutes to, just a couple minutes, really, to shout out to all the family, friends, and fans of Earl Simmons, aka Darkman X, aka DMX. I mean, he was the he was a staple in many of my journeys on the highway, and many of my road trips. I used to just pump DMX, and he had a grit about him, yes, but I think people really loved him because of his humanity, because he was flawed, and he wasn't afraid to tell his story, and a lot of it through his music. I mean, I think we all sometimes we slip, we fall, we feel like we can't get up, so and why I bring up DMX is not because he's a star or anything like that. Is because one of his flaws was addiction, and it finally got to him. But I urge you guys, all of you, if you have some sort of addiction, if you have some sort of problem, please, 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 please reach out to someone. Seek help. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you strong because you're only human. So that's my message. Thanks, Coach. I appreciate that.
And that's well said, well spoken. This is INSiiGHTS with MicknRick. And on that note, is nothing else for Mickey Clayton, the coach, to say.
And Rick Brown, your reporter's favorite reporter. We're out.
Peace.
Peace.
Your attention, please.
Stay up to date with the latest from INSiiGHTS. Visit our website at INSiiGHTS.com. 2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.com.
INSiiGHTS is a copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises and is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on INSiiGHTS represent their independent thoughts and representation.